You know, I was in a horror film. You know, I had an extra kind of role in a horror film as a uncredited performer. Do you know this? Have I ever told you about this?
No,
If I
no, we
haven't,
have not discussed this. I'm
I
surprised.
think it's
What are we, 39 weeks or something like that?
yep.
And this has never come up?
I know, and it fucking blows me away that I haven't even mentioned this to you. In fact, and I texted it to you really kind of casually, super casually,
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago. Did I tell you that was in a horror film? It's a horror movie that never saw the light of day, right? It was never released, and I'm starting to suspect it never will be.
Oh.
Let me just give you, I'm gonna talk you through it. So
What year are we talking?
quite recently, you know, 2017, maybe 2018.
Okay.
18, I think. It was recently. So I meet someone through work, somebody who's just joined our company, and we get talking, and I mention I'm a horror fan. I mention I love movies, blah blah blah. And she tells me that her daughter actually co-owns and runs a very small scale horror production company, right?
Okay.
Yes. And they're quite prolific. They churn out constantly, churn out scripts,
it's kind of
churn out
like the
features.
Asylum or whatever that does all the sci-fi stuff.
Exactly this. And they go straight to VOD.
Right.
All quite low rent, you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. I love that stuff. That's like, I've
same.
said legitimately that like one of my bucket list items is to be in one of those terrible sci-fi channel movies, like as anything extra,
Yes.
whatever. So I'm for this.
Their stock in trade is doing kind of straight to video equivalents of big studio productions, right?
Okay, yeah.
Which they'll release coinciding with home video releases of big screen
Right.
productions, like
yeah. Which shows how quickly they're actually making them in the
turnaround.
window
Yes,
of that.
it's incredible. I liken it to one of the things I miss about Blockbuster, right? One of the things I miss about going to the video shop is leafing through the titles and finding the direct-to-video analog of your big studio productions. Like Transmorphers was one of my favorite. Fucking brilliant. I think I saw a Triassic Park at one time. That was also great. So that's the kind of ballpark that we're in, right?
Sure.
So I get talking to this lady at work, and she goes, "Do you know what? I could pick up the phone and they're shooting in London now. I could pick up the phone and get you in as an extra." And I was like, "No way!"
Stop.
She did. Yep, she did. And literally 72 hours later, I've got a phone number and an address to rock up to, and I do. I think, "Oh, you Mark?" I'm like, "Yeah, Mark. Come on in, Mark." And there's this fucking derelict building.
Oh God.
Interestingly, the set that they were shooting on was it was kind of like a sex dungeon.
Oh, okay.
No, for real. Or that was
on purpose, or it just had the vibe?
No, it was full of sexual appliances, right? And I'm talking like a X harness.
Okay, sure.
To strap into. There was a swing in there. Like a kind of an examination table with the stirrups for legs and so on. I don't think that this was referenced in the script, right? It wasn't. It's just this was where they were.
It's just they happened to be able to rent this out, and they were like, "We can work with that."
Yeah, exactly that. And the scene in question, I'm going to describe the plot of the movie, right, as best as I can remember it.
Okay.
I don't know if they were aliens. I don't know if they were zombies, but there's some beings who were converting human beings to kind of their followers, and had created like a super zombie that was going into battle for them or something like that. And I was to be one of these zombies, right? Nice. In the language of the film, they were known as joiners, right? So I'm in makeup and they zombie me up. I get told I have excellent bone structure, which was always great.
That's true. You do have very good bone structure, Mark.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so I shoot my scene. They pump this fucking sex dungeon full of dry ice, smoke, and I have to scrabble around on the floor and fight with another one of these joiners over a severed arm, which has been tossed to us. Meh.
Wow. So this is like
For-
an almost a featured extra you've got going here. Like you have a little bit of a story there.
Well, I was promised IMDb credit,
Oh,
and I was promised a copy of the DVD, right?
sure.
Neither have come to pass, right? Because I'm starting to suspect this movie isn't ever going to see the light of day. Because since then, I mean, I follow them on Twitter and I've asked, is it coming out? They're like, prob's not. And they've released lots of movies since then.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to believe that my excellent bones are never gonna.
They've been wasted. Wasted. I feel like you should ask for a redo. Like, can me and my bones come back? Do another flick with you.
Do, but in the interim, I don't have the greatest relationship with this lady at work anymore. So I don't think.
No, you burned your bridge.
Yeah, I think that was my shot.
Oh,
I think that's my shot. But I've got my memory, I've got my memories, I've got my picks of the day, and I've got the reinforcement that can only come from a makeup professional telling you that you have excellent facial bones.
It's true. I mean, it means a lot.
Yeah. It was such a strange day.
Yeah. What was the makeup thing? Oh, go ahead.
The vibe of it was a bit Hellraiser-y, right?
Mm-hmm.
So while I was fighting with the other over this dismembered hand,
Joiner.
which by the way was the other joiner over this dismembered hand, which was literally just like a joke plastic hand that they'd thrown at us. The costumes started ringing when they went into costume and opened up like Ruby's Halloween costumes in a flat pack.
What Halloween costumes?
Ruby's, the Halloween costume manufacturers that do all the Halloween costumes.
Oh, I don't know if we have that, but I think I get the, like, you know, when you go into a place and it's just like,
yeah, and they're all like on a rack.
It's Pocahontas, but it says like Indian princess or whatever.
Exactly. The costumes were literally out of a pack that they put on. And they had like bald plastic latex bald caps on.
Yes.
Over the makeup and veins painted on. So it was a bit ropey.
Mm-hmm.
But I was dying for it to have come out just so I could see if
I would have loved to see that.
Movie magic managed to
make it better than it seemed.
Make it good. Because after I'd scrabbled around with this plastic hand with the other joiner, I had a fight scene where we would run at the heroes and do a bit of fighting. And that was it. That was my day in a smoke-filled sex dungeon, scrabbling around on the floor.
Mama said there'd be days like these.